Okay, so let's start taking a look at some of the skills. So the biggest thing that you have to do with your underhand passing is you can't raise up and down like that. You have to bend your knees a little bit more, and so take a look at where your knees, and then see how you bob up each time. So you have to make sure that you stay at one single level, and then too much arm swing. See how much you swung your arms on that one? And so again, watch as your ball comes in, your arms are down that low, almost between your legs, and then they come up. And so that's too much arm swing. You need to use your body in order to push the ball forward. So you do push the ball very well forward on some of your passes, but you always start with your arms way too low. You're bending at the waist, and you have a real wide stance in your legs. So you have to, first off, not always straight up. Okay. You see how your one leg locks when you pass, and then here with your setting, you have to make sure you always move forward, and you tend to hop backwards when you do it. So if you take a look at all your sets, you see how you're hopping backwards, you'll get a lot more distance and a lot more accuracy if you step through it, because the hop backs is very limited as compared to how much. See, that one was better because you didn't have to hop back, but you have to make sure you step through the ball each time you set it. So keep moving forward as you set. So that's nice, and it's very consistent. You're a good setter and you're a good passer. It's just a matter of making sure that you play a little bit lower, and make sure you use your knees a little bit more, because you tend to play upright. So you play very tall, and that's a good thing when you're in the front row, but in the back row you want to play low, and so you don't want to be so tall. You move well, you get to the position. You always have to make sure that you are on your toes, and you can shift from the back to the front as you do your skills, because almost every single skill that you do in volleyball is a forward movement, and you tend to get caught very wide stance, and then tend not to move forward very well. And so on your serving, again, don't dip so low on your toss. Keep your arm a little bit higher, and you have a nice solid pass, and speed up your forward momentum on your spike, and it'll be a lot more powerful. And so you use the momentum of your body to give yourself a little bit more power when you're serving. So it's just a matter of faster all the time. Nice high arm swing, which is nice. You hit it nice and high. Spread your fingers a little bit wider, and then you've got a nice serve. But watch how you dip the ball. You see how the ball comes down so low, and then the ball travels too far. And so it's better if you start with the ball higher and just lift it, and then serve in a straight line always. And you're consistent with it, and you're very stable and on balance, which is really nice. You'll notice on both this and your anyways, we'll get to it. See how wide your stance is? That limits how much you're capable of moving, because if your legs are that wide, you see how you're almost double the width of your shoulders. You don't want to be that wide, and what you're doing is you're using that to get yourself a little bit closer to the ground, and what you should be doing is bending your knees to get your butt down a little bit rather than spreading your legs that wide, because it limits how quickly you can move. And then notice that when you just pass, you're very off balance, and so you want to be very balanced when you're passing. And so don't use the up and down motion. Use a forward motion when you're setting to get the distance, and so it's always pushing it forward. You're very consistent when you watch the ball. The ones you have the problems with are the ones that are outside your center or in front of you. So in front of you, it's because your stance is so wide, you can't bend your knees to get down a little bit lower. But you're very intelligent when it comes to the way you play, and you move very well, and so you have to just use your knees a little bit more. Watch your landing. That's a concern. Just see how you land. When you land, you need to always force your butt out. So you push your butt back in order to land a little bit softer, because you always land with really straight legs. You're going to start hurting your knees, and because you're landing and you're not cushioning at all. And so just bend a little bit lower when you hit, so you're down lower than what you are. You notice how you land upright all the time? You're a very consistent hitter. You're a powerful hitter. Your timing's really good. You reach nice and high. Your forward momentum is good. You don't hang yourself on the net a lot, and so you're very consistent in the front row when it comes to those type of things. But watch how hard you land. So you have to really cushion a lot more than that. And so you know that drill and jump training where we jump and you held it for 3 seconds? You need to hold it. You need to land that way and then hold a lot lower than what you are, because that's really hard on your knees the way you're landing. Forward blocking, make sure you reach. You're a very consistent blocker, but you want to make sure you look at the ball and look up. And so don't throw your hands, just reach for them. So you see how your hands go back behind your head, get your hands out in front, and then just press over the net, and then that's your nice solid block. So reach and see how your hands go back behind your head, and then you throw them forward. That's a timing thing, and it'll mess up when the hits change speed, or when they're hit harder or hit softer. So what you want to do is you want to reach and then sort of slide your hands over the net and then pull them back. So good job.